So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. Samsung Galaxy S23 Ultra versus iPhone 14 Pro Max speed test. Let's begin with a boot up in 3, 2, 1. Now, both of these phones are rocking 4nm CPUs. We do have a Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 on the S23 Ultra, the new kid on the block, and the Apple A16 Bionic built on the 4nm architecture. Now, the Galaxy actually has more RAM, 12 gigabytes versus 6 gigabytes, but we all know iPhone doesn't need as much due to how the software is in-house with the CPU. And Apple said, shut up, Nick. Today, I'm still going to boot up faster than Galaxy S23 Ultra. So the faster boot up goes to the iPhone 14 Pro Max. But which phone looks better? Let me know. What do you guys think? We'll be doing a full comparison in detail soon, but the boot up to the iPhone. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and test the biometrics. So we can't really directly compare. There is a face unlock for Samsung, but it's not super secure, so I don't like to compare that directly. But with this Samsung, you could actually unlock it without even unlocking the screen, or you can unlock the screen. Fingerprint sensor is blazing quick. I do believe once you get the hang of it, you might be able to not even look at it and be able to unlock the Samsung. So it might be slightly faster because the Face ID will require you to bring it up. So if you kind of know where it's at, you could be over here just like that with the Samsung. So I would say Samsung's unlocking method is faster in terms of speed. Now, in terms of, usage, that's really up to you. Both of them are super secure, whether you want the in-display fingerprint or the dynamic island and its Face ID. Both of them very quick there. Okay, now when it comes to general performance in the software, 16.3.1 on here, One UI 5.1 also launched for some older Samsungs on here. Generally speaking, scrolling through the user interfaces, iOS is buttery smooth, we know that, but I'm really happy to report that there's no hiccups, no delays with the Samsung S23 Ultra. Last year, the S22 Ultra had some issues. This one, very efficient, very fast and smooth. And, it might seem boring that they keep a similar design, but they made improvements under the hood, which make this phone feel incredibly smooth and great performing. And that's going to give it that Note 9-like feel, I feel like, where it just works incredibly well all the time. So definitely very happy. Either way you go here, you're just getting a different experience, but the same amount of smoothness, general performance day to day when it just comes to scrolling through the home screens and navigating your device. It's not going to be a big difference whatsoever in that area. All right, guys, so here we are at the application portion of the speed test. Let's go into calculator. Faster on the iPhone, clock. Slightly faster on the iPhone. We'll hit the world clock timer. We'll go to alarm. Pretty similar. We'll go into weather. A little faster on the iPhone. One thing I don't like about the Samsung though is when you click this, it goes into a website, kind of like how Apple stays in app here, but that's not a big deal. It's just something I want to point out. Let's go into Play Store. You can see Play Store faster on the left. We'll go to TikTok. Not a fan, but just something to click. We'll go out of there. We'll go into Instagram. You could see Instagram. That was close call. I couldn't see that one. Let's go to one of these images here. How about that one? Pretty similar. So you can just see, look at the scrolling, man. Like the scrolling, pretty similar on both. You're going to get a really great experience. It's just kind of like, do you want the squared body? Do you want dynamic island? Do you want the 200 megapixel camera? Let's go into Groupon. Samsung never really was close to Apple when it comes to speed back in the days. Nowadays, looks like they're smoking them in some areas, or even at least at the same level. So Apple better look out. You could see both of them doing well there. We'll go to Best Buy, and you can see that looked like the iPhone had that one. Let's go into laptops and computers. You can see pretty close. This stuff is like neck and neck. And it's been neck and neck for a while, but now, the Samsung won that one, but these some Steph Curry shoes. You can see pretty similar. Now it's getting to the point where it's literally like you're going to have the same exact performance, essentially, for your day-to-day life. Now, benchmarks could say otherwise, but in reality, you're going to have literally the same thing. So that whole argument about iPhone is smoother, that's long gone. It's definitely long gone. It's really just down to what phone works better for you. Personally, I really like the S23 Ultra For gaming, for watching media, I just like the shape of the screen for that. It's just more like a TV in your hand. The iPhone has got a better, I would say, hand feel. Like for just holding it in your hand, the curved corners are just a little bit more hand friendly. But you know, for writing things down, for multitasking, I think the Samsung is doing a much better job of taking advantage of the large screen, at least in this phone right here. You can see Samsung wins that one out. We'll head up out of here. Let's go into Subway Surfers. And you could see, I mean, look at these things. That's Apple. That's Apple for sure. I mean, look at these things. They're just like the same phone, just different software, different feel. Let's go into Temple Run 2. It's nice to have competition that is giving you essentially similar things with a different experience. It's nice because then you could go try something else without jarringly slow performance or anything like that. And you know, the little twitches and hiccups of the S22 Ultra were extremely disappointing. I'm so happy to report here that this S23 Ultra, if it stays this way, it's on the same level as iPhone. We'll go over here and go into 3D Mark. iPhone's slightly faster. So yeah, there you go. I mean, neck and neck all the way through these applications. What are your thoughts on the speed of these two so far? So let's go through the RAM management on each phone. We're gonna see if we do get anything to stutter, delay, anything like that. And look at Samsung Go. They're even doing better now with the animations of the device. They've listened to our complaints about how they look so weird when they come back home. I mean, look at this. It's smooth as day. This is definitely beautiful. Absolute great job. This is a great job by Samsung on this one. You know, this year might have seemed boring, but they nailed the performance on that phone. And that's a big deal. The experience is important. And now if you want to try a Samsung time, it's the best time ever to try a Samsung phone. I think I said Samsung time, but it's the best time ever. And this is not sponsored. They didn't pay me to say that. I'm just saying, as somebody who bought the phone, just trying to help you out. This phone, I mean, this one right here, I'm not talking much about it because we already know what to expect with that iPhone. But that was pretty impressive. Not a hiccup, not a delay in speed or the RAM. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and run a couple websites here and see what they do when it comes to that. How about youtube.com first here? We'll hit go. And you'll see iPhone a little faster there, scrolling through. Still with the fast scroll on Android, that's not gonna change. A little bit smoother on the iPhone, but slower. So again, that's a little bit of a difference. So let's go to Samsung.com here. On both devices, by the way, S23 Ultra and all the other ones have launched today officially, so you can go pick them up at the stores now today. Let's hit go on both of them. Apple a little faster on Samsung's own website. We'll go into apple.com now just to be fair. Apple.com, let's hit go. And you could see iPhone faster on that one. So Safari seems a little quicker than Samsung's internet browser for sure. I'm gonna have to give it to Apple on that one, but I mean, it's by a hair, so it's really nothing, honestly, but it's something if you care about stuff like that. Just keep in mind that, you know, both of them are 5G. Both of them have the latest, some of the latest connectivity standards. So really the type of performance you get on the internet is gonna depend on your Wi-Fi and your 5G. So let's go ahead now and run a Geekbench 5 or 6 test. They came out with a new application here. So we're gonna go ahead and run this now, and I'll be back when they're in with their final scores. All right, so the final scores are in, and Apple with the win once again in benchmarks. The Samsung is no match here in the single core, 2503 on Apple's device, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Over here, we do have 1903, respectable scores. It's still a beast on the Samsung. And the multi-core score, 1,000 points better on the A series. So the Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is definitely a beast. And in real world, you'll never, ever see a difference, really. But when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, when it comes to the actual chip, at its core, the A series Bionic is still the fastest on the market. Let's go ahead and do a 3D mark just to kind of see what we'll get from it. Okay, so here is the final Wildlife Extreme test score, and looks like the Samsung actually won this one out. That's strange. I was just saying the benchmarks are going to always go to iPhone. 3705 overall score here, 3341. 20 frames a second, 22.20 on the average frame rate. So pretty impressive on the Samsung. They did improve the GPU performance as well. So the Samsungs are a really good gaming phone also. So if you want a game, pick up the Samsung. It's going to be super fun. You can pick up the iPhone too. It's also going to be super fun, but this thing gets in the way a little bit more of the games than this thing. And you could do some other stuff on the Samsung phone, like download certain games you couldn't get here from third parties. But the iPhone still has some of the best titles, and they come out originally like really fast. So at the end of the day, I can't really call one a true winner. The winner is the one you pick that suits you the best, because both of them perform at about the same level. The iPhone a hair quicker in Geekbench. The Samsung struck back in wildlife, and in the app test, they were trading blows. So same level. This is pretty incredible for Samsung. They have never even beat the iPhone. I think in my prior tests, Apple always wins it out. But this year, same level. That's what I'm seeing in my test here. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And stay tuned. We got continuing coverage on the S23 series. I'll catch you on the next one. Nick here. Be sure to be well, and peace.